Have you ever felt like you are absolutely brilliant at doing your job, but when it comes to winning the next project, you just freeze? Well, today, we're diving into a playbook that completely flips how experts think about growth. It turns that dreaded idea of sales into a genuine act of giving. Let's get into it. This single idea right here is pretty much the core of our entire explainer. It's a total mindset shift. Forget about closing deals, think about helping your friends. This whole philosophy just challenges the traditional view of business development. It reframes the whole thing as an act of service and really just building relationships. So here's the problem that so many incredibly brilliant people face. You've spent years, maybe even decades, becoming an absolute master of your craft. You're the person everyone goes to for solving the hard problems. But then you get a promotion or you start your own thing, and suddenly you're expected to be an expert at something completely new, winning the work. And this isn't just some hypothetical story. The author, Mo Banal, he actually lived this. After passing an unbelievable 24 exams to become a top actuary, he was put in a new role. His task? Business development. And that silence in his new office, it was deafening. He was an expert at delivering the work, but a complete novice at creating it. It's a feeling a lot of us can relate to, right? Being thrown into the deep end of a very, very unfamiliar pool. Okay, this slide highlights something absolutely crucial. The worlds of doing the work and winning the work are basically complete opposites. When you're doing the work, you're all about certainty, you're managing scope, you have the right answers. But when you're trying to win the work, it's about creating possibility, being generous with your time and ideas, and asking really great questions. And here's the kicker, the very skills that made you successful in one area will literally hold you back in the other. So if the skills are so different, what's stopping us from learning them? Well, a lot of the time, it's the internal stories we tell ourselves. Let's break down the 5 most common lies that hold experts back from growing their business. Okay, the first and probably the biggest lie is that business development is some kind of innate talent. We see other people do it well, and we think, oh, they were just born with it. I could never do that. But the truth is, winning work is a learnable, practical, and repeatable skill, just like everything else you've already mastered. This one leads to total paralysis. You want to reach out, you do, but you're just not sure what to say or what the client even needs. And that uncertainty makes us delay, right? We think, I'll do it later when I have a better idea. But as we all know, later rarely comes. The perfectionist curse. As experts, we're so used to getting things right. The fear of sending the wrong email or saying the wrong thing, or maybe even damaging a relationship. That fear can be so strong that we just choose to do nothing at all. This is probably the most common lie of them all. We're buried in client work, we're hitting deadlines, and it feels like there isn't a single spare moment to be proactive. We tell ourselves we'll focus on growth when things slow down. But here's the counterintuitive truth. The absolute best time to plant seeds for the future is when you're already in demand. And finally, we have the fear of rejection. We don't want to come across as salesy or needy or unprofessional. And this fear of looking bad, it's so powerful that it stops us from even making an attempt to be helpful in the first place. So as you look at these 5 lies, just ask yourself, are they really true? Or are they just convenient excuses our brains create to avoid discomfort and stay right where we are? The good news is, there's a really powerful alternative. See, the solution isn't to become a better salesperson, not at all. It's to adopt a completely different mindset, one that's built on giving. So instead of trying to get a sale, you focus on giving value. And this whole process is built on 4 really powerful gifts. It starts with the gift of attention, because let's face it, in a distracted world, true focus is rare and so valuable. From there, you give the gift of understanding by obsessing over their problem, not your solution. That builds deep trust. Then you offer the gift of wisdom by sharing a small insight or idea, just giving them a little taste of what it's like to work with you. And finally, you give the gift of progress by always recommending a clear next step, making it super easy for them to move forward. And this is the core philosophy. Give to Grow isn't about random acts of kindness. It's about being strategic and consistent with your generosity. It's a long-term play that builds trust and creates this incredible, unstoppable advantage over time. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds really nice, but does it actually work? Well, the data is kind of staggering. The difference between an average performer and a top performer isn't just 10 or 20%, it's a whole different universe. That's right. In most professional services firms, the top performers produce at least 10 times more than the average performer. Not 2 times, not 5 times, 10 times. I mean, just look at this chart. That gap is massive. In every single organization, there are people who are quietly generating outcomes that are an order of magnitude greater than their peers. So the really important question is, how are they doing it? Well, it's not magic, it's a system, and it's built on 3 core habits. First, they make growth their highest priority. It's the first thing they think about, not the last. Second, they're consistent. They're reaching out even when they're slammed with other work. And finally, they study relationship building like it's a craft, always looking to get better. Okay, all this theory is great, but the real power is in the action. So let's make this real, right now. Here is a simple, concrete step you can take the second this explainer is over. That's it. It's that simple. Don't overthink it. The goal is not to get a meeting or sell anything. The goal is just to hit send. This simple act moves you from being passive to being proactive. It's an offer of help with zero expectation of anything in return. This quote just perfectly captures the shift in thinking. You're not doing something to them, like pitching them or closing them. You're doing something for them, offering your time, your network, your attention. It's all about service, not sales. So let's end with this thought. We've all been trained to believe that growth comes from asking, from pushing, from closing. But what if that's all wrong? What if true sustainable growth for your business and honestly for your soul comes from a place of genuine strategic generosity? What if you decided to just give to grow?